Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to League Racing TV here for round number 10 of the CTC Console Championship. My name is, of course, Michael Edwards, going to be taking you through the action tonight, and of course, joining me in the commentary box, he's back for a second time, is, of course, Piney. Piney, how you doing, mate?
I'm doing all right, Michael. How are we doing this evening?
I am doing absolutely fantastic because we are here round number 10. Only a few more rounds to go in the championship. And we come to the Circuit of the Americas, a track where there's plenty of opportunities for drivers to get the overtakes done and plenty of room for mistakes to be made. But let's have a little look at the track in question here tonight. Of course, the 5.3 kilometer, 3.4 mile track in length, 20 corners, 2 DRS zones, 1 down the long straight in towards the break-in at turn number 12, and of course 1 up the hill towards the turn number 1. And I'm not going to lie, it's going to be an interesting race because obviously around a circuit like COTA, tyre temperatures are going to be crucial. And keeping them in check. It's always been a thing here at COTA where tyre temps have to be kept in check and kept in line. And I think it's going to be more of the same here tonight.
It definitely is, because obviously being in America, it can get warm, so those temperatures could be sky high through the roof. So you never know what can happen tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we should say as well, normally we do have the full qualifying, but for tonight it's going to be a short qualifying session as we've started half an hour late due to the real life F1 going on this weekend. So it's going to be a short qualifying, just the one session, the 18-minute session, and then we'll see who will be taking that pole position point. But going into tonight, the championship. Now, we do have the standings here tonight for the championship, and as you can see, Shazoo Cedar Igniters lead the way by 74 points to ET8 Esports, and Piney, they could wrap up the championship here tonight.
They definitely could if they can increase that gap to, just got to do some quick maths off the top of my head, about 88 points.
85 points.
No, it'd be... Yeah, but 85 points and then they'll take it, yeah.
Yeah, so Shazoo with a fantastic opportunity to seal the championship here tonight. ET8 are going to be doing everything they can to prevent that from happening. Of course, TF10 trying to get themselves back into contention, and they're going to need a big result here. They're going to need, well, both teams are going to need Shazoo to have a absolute nightmare at COTA for any of them to really get themselves back in the championship fight. Shazoo with one hand on the championship as it currently stands. Evolution Racing currently in 4th place on 147 points, with Legacy Racing, LR in 5th on 102. The only teams in the triple-digit markers at the moment. Ground Effect Spec Racing currently in 6th on 87 points. Alien Motorsport in 7th on 60 points, 5 points ahead of All Elite Racing Team on 55. Then we've got Azuri Esports on 48, and of course IRT International Racing Team on 20 points. So they're all looking. I mean, we got interesting battles going on in the grid. Obviously, I mean, Shazoo are in a class of their own, and they have been so far this season. Obviously, ET8 and TF10 are in a tasty little battle for second. And, of course, you got Evolution Racing in a bit of a no man's land in 4th. Legacy, obviously, they've been doing their thing, and now they're also in a little bit of no man's land with Grand Effect Spec trying to chase them down. And then we got the interesting battle between Azuri, Alien Motorsport, and the All Elite Racing Team for that 7th place. And of course, IRT coming into the season late, they're trying to get themselves into the mix as well. So we'll see how that works out for them tonight. Of course, before we jump into qualifying, a quick word from our sponsored and partners here at CTC, and of course to Pivot Media, the marketing agency offering graphic and video designers to elevate your brand and business. Make sure you check out their X in the description down below, and of course to Virtual Setup Engineer, the brand new setup shop for all of your setup needs, where they offer setups for all the tracks, plus a custom chat box so you can customize the setup to your driving style. And of course, to Gridfinder, of course, we saw the video moments ago. Now, as we said, Shazoo, great opportunity now to seal the championship here tonight. And the driver lineup, I mean, it is unfortunate. We do not have the graphic for the driver lineup here tonight, but we do have the lineup here. So I'm going to transfer us over to the action out on track, just so that we can get some qualifying going here tonight. And who have we got on a lap? As the audio did not come through for a second, but don't worry, we have now got the audio coming through. Lovely stuff. But yeah, looking at the drivers that we have here tonight. So Azuri Esports, obviously they were meant to have Justin and Daniel in tonight. Obviously we got Justin in, but no Daniel at this moment in time, unfortunately. Ground Effect Spec Racing coming with RWB and Medal, who are both in the lobby. Shazoo coming through with Wallakongan and Dirk, looking to seal the championship off as soon as possible here tonight. And then, of course, for TF10, we got Snack and Tiago. For Legacy Racing, we got Jules and, of course, we got Typical. Typical not here at the moment, so Jules, the lone LR driver at this moment in time. And then, of course, for All Elite Racing Team, we got Crowden, who we're currently on board with, who will be taking us on a lap in just a moment's time. And then, of course, we got his teammate, Chami Loek. I know I've absolutely butchered that, and I do apologise, mate. I struggle with some names.
This is where I'd be like, just say Lolek or something, as that's the easiest part to say of their name.
Yeah.
So it looks like Wallakongan is the first one to set a banker time of 1:30.631.
Yeah, as Crowden's about to get us on a lap. So we'll go for the rest of the lineup as Crowden comes up the hill in towards turn number 1, breaking down third gear, making sure he clips that apex on the inside curve, and now keeping it nice and tight coming through turn 2. The S's, where it's so difficult to keep it all valid, because you've got to carry the speed, the momentum, but it's so easy just to snatch a little bit too much of the inside curve, and then of course invalidate your run. And now the uphill right left switch as we come through 9-10, and now in towards the hard braking at turn number 11, breaking down hard, third gear again, looking for the apex, trying to get a lovely bit of traction on the exit, and now it is foot to the floor, DRS wide open as we head down in towards the braking for turn number 12, where we're going to be seeing a lot of overtaking action. I can assure you of that. Down to second gear, a little snap at the rear there for Crowden as you come through 12, but now in towards the double right-hander at 13 and 14, in towards the infamous gust of wind corner, where traction's so crucial, and you got to make sure that your car is going to be facing the right way coming out of there. Now through the triple right-handers in towards the penultimate corner, turn 19, throwing the car through, making sure you don't run too wide, and then validating. Crowden doing a good job there. Now final corner, a little bit wide unfortunately for him, but he crossed the line, and it's a 31.7 for Crowden.
Yeah, so to give everyone an update why there's only 16 drivers, so I've been told by AMS, our Rev Bob cannot make it, Apple's wheel is broken, LR Typical can't race today because his pedals are broken, and at the minute I've heard nothing from Azuri Daniel. I've pinged him multiple times on Discord, and no response from him, so at this point he will receive a quali ban whenever he joins. Other people that have quali bans will be both ETH drivers for a late lineup submission.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Yep, that's all the news to update the chat on.
Yeah, and of course ETA coming in tonight with Raidadar and Ostu as well. Both of them going to be serving their qualifying ban as you see them both retiring in the pit lane. Unfortunate for them, but you got to make sure you get those lineup submissions in on time. Evolution Racing coming in tonight with Kevin Zumberg and Lucas. And then, of course, IRT Esports coming through with Nick and Ivan in the Haas, who we were just on board with. I thought potentially he might go for a lap, but nope, into the pits he goes.
Yeah, obviously, it's also interesting to say as well. The Ivan that's driving for IRT right now is the same Ivan that's been racing for AMS all season long. He's kind of a jump ship and gone to IRT, so it's interesting.
Well, I mean that is the nature of obviously esports racing, and of course just racing in general. Like sometimes you run a course at a team, and sometimes you leave amicably, sometimes you leave on bad terms. But obviously everyone here is competitors, and they always look for the place where they can get the maximum out of their potential. So obviously Ivan jumping to IRT he's going to be looking at that as a positive move for him. And of course I've known the IRT team for a very long time, and there's a great bunch of lads in it. So I can see him settling in lovely IRT.
Yeah, definitely. As it is. Also be interesting as well as like, will the ETA drivers be able to recover from the back? So...
Oh, that will be interesting. Remember, they are the closest team to Shazoo in the standings, and I mean, it's going to be difficult to stop Shazoo from taking the championship as Tiago goes in right behind Snack there into P5. His teammate there in P4 about to start his lap, but we'll go on board with we'll actually stay on board with Snack. He's about to start his lap, so we'll stay on board with Snack as remember it's only a short qualifying, no full qualifying here tonight, so as long as you get a time on the board, you're gonna be okay. You're not gonna be threatened by getting knocked out in Q1 this time round. But yeah, it's gonna be difficult for anyone to really stop Shazoo Cedar Igniters here tonight, because I mean they got a 70+ point lead in the championship. If they take the pole position point as well, it's gonna be almost impossible. It's going to be almost impossible for the other teams to gain enough points to call back on them. Like the only thing that can stop them is mistakes from themselves. And Volokonga and Dirk, they've been around for a very long time, and they don't make mistakes very often.
I've seen Volokonga make a mistake before, but it wasn't that big. And I don't think I think in all the times I've seen Dirk race, I don't think I've ever seen him make a mistake. So it's definitely in Shazoo's court right now. They need to, because if they get the quality pole put onto 74, so they have to outscore ETA by about 10 points to seal the title, I would say. If they outscore ETA then less than 10, then it'll go to the next race, as Snack has just gone fastest to say to ETA, I'm here to help you boys out.
Yeah, and
give
of course,
one last hurrah.
Yeah, Snack putting it on provisional pole for the time being, but Volokongan and Dirk are on fast laps right now. So let's see what Volokongan is going to do coming through turn 12 now, middle sector split. And he's over a 10th down on his time, so he needs a big final sector here if he wants to try and improve. Of course, the gap between Snack and Volokongan is around about half a 10th of a second, so he's going to need nearly 2 attempts in this final sector if he wants to try and get provisional pole position back, but that's not going to help him as he goes wide on the exit of turn 19, and that is invalidation, and into the pits goes Volokongan. What about Dirk? What can he do? Middle sector, he's 2 attempts up. Now this is going to be close from Dirk.
Yeah, it is going to be close. And obviously, if he can keep that 2 attempts, he'll definitely go ahead of Schnapp, which is what he wants. Because obviously they really want this extra point for pole position if they can get it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dirk now coming through the penultimate corner in towards the final corner now, throwing the car through third gear, nicely on the throttle, and he's found even more time in the final sector. It's a 30.2 from Suzuki the Igniter's Dirk.
God damn, Dirk.
I don't think I could set that time even with corner cutting turned off. I'm just being honest. But Dirk there with a fantastic lap time, puts himself nearly 3 tenths clear of Snack in second place. As we look for more times to to come through. As we got Ivan on a cool down lap, I think. Crowdin, I think he's just ended his lap. As we got Lucas on an invalid lap. Justin in the first sector.
Can people stop going slow so I can see how long left of the session there is? So I want to see how long Daniel's got before he cannot join. 5 minutes. Well, okay, he's got 4 minutes. If Daniel doesn't join until like the last minute, oh well. So Daniel needs to join. Like, I might actually have to ping one of the Azure managers to see what's going on there.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of Azuri, I'm currently on board with Justin coming through turn number 12 now in towards middle sector split. A snap on the exit there for Justin. Not ideal for him, but he is still pointing in the right direction as we come through the Gusta win corner, and it's nice on the traction there. Keeps it going in a straight line now through the triple right-handers as we head towards the penultimate corner, turn 19, throwing the car in, and he's just taking a little bit too much of the inside curb, and that's an invalidation there for Justin, and a tap on the wall on the pit lane entry for good effect. And that's going to be another thing as well, Piney. The pit lane entry is so easy to just outbrake yourself slightly and nip that out, that wall on the pit lane entry is so easy to do, and it could cost you a lot of time because wing damage around here in the first sector is not ideal.
No, it is not. So I've done this race in the past a few times just for a bit of fun in lower league racing. Just like I said, for a bit of fun. If you get front wing damage, the first sector is almost impossible to drive because of this freaking sweeping acid.
Well, we have just under 3.5 minutes to go in the session. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the chat if the stream is okay for you guys this week, because obviously in recent weeks now there's been issues with the stream. So just let me know. Wards, this is a short qualifying session. Of course, we started half an hour late due to the real life F1, and we of course put the vote out now for the drivers whether they wanted to do the full quali or the short quali, because we were starting late. The drivers voted short qualifying, so it is just the short qualifying session for tonight. No Q1, Q2, Q3, just one qualifying session to make sure you can get yourself pole position. And right now it is Shazoo's Dirk currently on pole position and 3 tenths clear at the top.
Yeah, closes out. Fudge, I was going to say something, but I forgot now. Oh yeah, this week the short quali is a one-off. We'll be going back to full quali next week. Obviously, because Michael said we started half an hour late, and that was due to real-life qualifying happening just before at Brazil, just before our event started. So I changed the time, obviously, because this penguin is the admin, so whatever he says goes. I did ask the drivers for their input, so I put up a poll, and then obviously the drivers wanted short, so they got short for today. Next week they don't have a choice, they're going back to long.
Yeah, as we got Kevin Zumberg yet to get a lap time on the board. He's got one opportunity to get it done here now as he begins his flying lap. A 24.5 first sector split as we come up the hill, caressing all of the apexes there as we run down now in towards turn number 11, looking for the apex there, and looking for good traction on the exit. It's looking like a good lap so far from Kevin Zumberg, but it is so easy to invalidate. And right now, I mean, it is a shock that both Kevin, Lucas, Justin, and Loic down there, I mean, they've yet to set a lap time. So even though ETA are serving a double qualifying ban, as it's a 1 minute point 7 there in the middle sector, they're still starting from P12 and P13 at this moment in time.
Yeah, that's like I said. I just got to hope these guys are on flying laps. Obviously, Zuckerberg is on a lap, so realistically, if he doesn't invalidate it, he'll be ahead of him anyway.
Oh, that was a bit of a double guess here from Zumberg. He turned in, turned out, then turned back in, so that just settled him. And through the final corner, he's picked up an invalidation. He's invalidated through the final corner. Kevin Zumberg.
Well, unfortunate. Lucas, his teammate, up to the line. He's up to 5th. Both Justin and Lowe are on their laps. Lowe's just starting on the main straight, but they had a little wobble there out of 11 there, so that could compromise him a little bit. But as long as he gets a time on the board, he will go ahead of the ETA drivers.
Oh, sorry, I saw Snack was up by 2 tenths in the middle sector. He did improve by a tenth, but not enough to challenge Dirk here. Of course, Nick has invalidated his run. There is a
Ivan is ahead of the Aston Martin, which I assume is RWB.
Yeah, RWB into the pits. Ivan improves.
Yep, Ivan improves on his time, but not. So he goes ahead of the other TF10
crowding
driver.
in the wall, on the exit of turn 12. Not ideal for him, but what can his teammate do as his teammate now comes to the line? Loic to the line, and he's going to go P11 just ahead of his teammate.
And
Justin's in.
Into the pits, and he's invalidated. So.
Volakongan, can he make it a Shazoo 1-2? No, he cannot.
No.
And I think that is qualifying over and done with, because Kevin Zumberg would have gotten invalid this and next lap.
Yep, that is it. That is it for qualifying, and also that is time up on Azurai Daniel joining us, because we cannot at this point will not be able to get him in. So that is unfortunate. So just the 16 drivers then today. It is sad to see, but it's hey ho.
Yeah, of course, a quick reminder of the drivers that were unable to make it here tonight. Of course, Azuri's Esports is Daniel, unfortunately unable to make it tonight. Legacy Racing's Typical. And of course, both of the Alien Motorsports drivers unable to make it. But let's run you through the order again. It is Dirk for Shazoo taking pole position and the pole position point ahead of TF10 Snack will join him on the front row. Wallakongan in P3 with Nick in P4. Lucas in P5 with Medal P6. Ivan P7, Tiago in P8, RWB in P9, and we got Jules rounding out the top 10. Outside of the top 10, we got Loic in 11th ahead of his teammate Crowden in 12th. Then, of course, we got no times coming in from Kevin Zumberg. Of course, both of the ET8 in Ryderdal, and, of course, Oxcu serving a qualifying ban for a late submission on the lineups. And then, of course, last but not least, Justin for Azuri Esports. Going to be starting from the back of the field. And look at that, ladies and gentlemen, we have a little bit of weather to come into play because it is raining a little bit out there.
Well, last time I commentated at a Texas race, it rained, but everyone was still able to run on dry tires. Let's see if that's going to happen again. Because the rain doesn't look like it's that heavy, so it could get lighter. But just looking at the clouds, maybe not until like halfway through the race that clouds go to disappear. It's also unusual. Well, it's also unusual as well for it to even rain in Texas. Like I'm pretty sure Texas is like the hottest state in America, so it's surprising to see it rain there. If I'm being brutally honest.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, obviously this is going to change a few things in terms of how the drivers approach things now, because yes, it is raining, but there's always the possibility that it could dry up and that, so we're going to see everyone on the same compound tire to begin with, I reckon. And then it's all going to be about that right time for the pit stop phases. Like, who is going to get that crossover point absolutely spot on, and who's going to be left out, hung out to dry. That's going to be the interesting thing. And if it does continuously rain throughout the entire race, then it's all going to be about, like, how bad does it get? Is it going to be an intermediate race all the way through? Is it going to get to full wets and back to inters? Like, there's a lot of variables that are coming into effect, and with the rain being here, the chances of a safety car or virtual safety car is much higher.
It definitely is. So let's see what people do also as well, because part of them is off, these drivers can completely change their setups. Because I assume in qualifying they all had dry setups on. Now, obviously, when they change their setups, they'll not all be wet setups. So that's that.
Yes, and what I'm going to do before we go to the 5 red lights, I'm just quickly going to go and remind you guys of the standings coming in tonight. Of course, Shazoo lead the way by 74 points. A possibility for Shazoo to clinch the championship here tonight. All they need to do is outscore ET8 by 11 points to make sure that they take home the championship and not get outscored.
No, it'll be 10 now because they got the pole lap.
Yep, that is true. They do have the pole position lap, so yep, it is 10 now. And then, of course, to not get outscored by TF10 by, I'm going to say, what is it, 16 points? 16 now. It's a 100-point gap.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see if the ET8 lads can recover nicely to get some points, because obviously they want to try and deny as many points as possible. Yep. Obviously, with it rain, there's that extra element. Oh, we're all starting.
Yep, back to the screen. Sorry, guys, I was about to go through the points system, but we won't go there because we got the 5 red lights are out and we are underway here in Kota. And a great start there from Volakongan as he gets himself up in the P2 momentarily, but Snack keeping it on the inside, and that's Nick going side by side with the Shazoo driver. And it looks like everyone's on the set of the intermediate side by side action between Snack and Volakongan here as we come into the S's, and Volakongan gets himself in front of Snack there. So the TF10 driver demoted, but he's sending it around the outside. Fantastic stuff here on lap 1 between Volakongan and Snack, but is that a full course safety car that has been deployed? I think it is.
It is a full course safety car on lap 1, and Snack gets a 10-second time penalty for a severe collision with Volakongan. That is not going to help TF10 at all. And out of nowhere, look where one of the ET8 drivers have gone. One's in P6 already.
Yep, fantastic stuff there from Ryderdal, going up from, well, I believe was I believe he was started P13.
14th and 13th. So 14th and 15th.
Oh, P14 up to P6, and a great start from Ryderdal.
Yeah, he's gone up 8 places. So yeah, he started 14th. Oxu started 15th. Oxu is currently in 9th. So that's good. So now I'm wondering what actually brought the safety car out.
I mean, there was a slow car
damage on the track. Who's got front wing damage? Let's go have a look for this grid. Here we go. We've got some front wing damage on Jules in 10th. Just trying to look for the rest of the grid. But I've got a terrible camera angle. Zuckerberg's fine. Medal's missing an end plate. Crowlin's missing an end plate. Thiago is good. Oh, it's Lomek is missing his entire wing, and so is Justin. So that explains it. Multiple drivers with front wing damage. So obviously Snack, he's pitting to get rid of that 10 seconds he got, and then everybody else that's pitting in is getting rid of that front wing damage because, as we said earlier, front wing damage at this track is a death sentence.
Yeah, absolutely. And Danny in the chat saying, I swear Ryder and Oslo had quali bans. They did have quali bans, and they did serve their qualifying bans. They started from P14 and P15. Justin was the only driver that wasn't able to set a time to jump ahead of him. Of course, there were a few drivers that wasn't able to set a lap time in qualifying. So they didn't necessarily start all the way at the back, but they started 14th and 15th, and Rydal up to P5. A fantastic start from him from an ET8 perspective, and Ostu now up into P8. So a great start for ET8. Heartbreak for TF10 with Snacks 10 second. And then, of course, you got Thiago that's fallen down the order as well. He's down to P10 in this race. Kevin Zumberg up at the P9. And RWB just holding on to P7 with Ivan just in front of him. Lucas with a pretty decent start as well. I think he's climbed up some positions. In fact, let's have a look at the position climbs.
Lucas is only gained 1. The only person not to move right now is Dirk. Dirk is the only person not to move because where they started from is where they currently are right now.
And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the position climbs and losses on the opening lap before the safety car was deployed. Of course, Dirk not moving at all. Volokongan up 1, Nick up 1, Lucas up 1, Rydal up 9, Ivan up 1, RWB up 2, Ostu up 7, Kevin Zumberg up 4. Then we got our losses with Thiago down 2, Jules down 1, Snack down 10, the big loser at the start of this race, but that is down to the 10-second time penalty that he occurred with contact with Volokongan at the start of the safety car proceedings. Medal down 7, Crowden down 2, Justin's up 1, and Loic is down 5. So that is how things are shaping here early on. Of course, pit stops that will come in. We've had a few pit stops thus far, 6 in total.
Yeah.
Jules, Snack, Medal, Crowden, Justin, and Loic.
Yeah, so the top 10 have not pitted. The ones that are not outside the top 10 have pitted. All of them were for wing damage, except for Snack, who was just pitting to get rid of his 10 seconds. Well, that's what I'm assuming anyway. I'm going to have a quick look at the race director just to confirm there's no damage on Snack. Yes, so Snack was just to get rid of his 10 seconds. Everybody else that pitted were for front wing damage.
Yeah, absolutely. So. And of course, I mean, we mentioned front wing damage and how it can be effective in the dry. In the rain, it's even worse.
It's a death sentence. If you have no wing around this track, if you just get wide a little bit and touch that grass, that is you literally going into the wall.
And of course, looking at the weather right now, obviously there's still some raindrops now, but it doesn't appear to be, it's not exactly chucking it down at the moment. It's just a light sprinkle, which I think is going to be enough for the time being to keep everyone on inters. But it will be interesting to see if it's going to get worse or better throughout the course of this race. The track does look, it's not looking completely damp yet. So safety car is in this lap. Obviously there's some sprinkles out there on track, so it is definitely still the intermediate tyres, but the track is not looking completely drenched yet, and it's not looking bone dry either.
No, but obviously eventually when these drivers have gone round enough, there will be a dry line forming, but obviously you've got to keep an eye on those clouds, because obviously I see some lighter clouds coming over. If I go on board or somebody, I see some light clouds in the distance, so maybe that, if that does come this way, then maybe that shouldn't be an issue. But I'll have to see if that, obviously the rain's going to change a lot. But anyway, I'll throw it back over to you, Michael, so you can take us off for this restart.
Yeah, and there goes Dirk. Dirk has put his foot down to the floor and he's got the restart going. Volokongan has obviously he's not reacted at the same time as his teammate, but he's made sure that Nick hasn't reacted as well either. So Volokongan now playing rear gunner to Dirk in this race. Rydal looking to continue his fine climb up through the order as he almost goes careering into the back of Lucas. But look at the traction he gets on the exit of turn number 1. All over the back of the Sauber as we come into the S's. And this is where you got to keep it all in check, keep it all in line as he closes up massively. Looks like Lucas starting to struggle a little bit on those tyres. Maybe it is just a little bit dry out there in terms of the tyres, and maybe we're getting a little bit of overheating on those intermediates.
Yeah, could be a factor. Yeah, you never know. But Oh, is he? Oh, Rydell's going to make that move up the inside at turn 11.
What
on the
a
brakes.
lunge.
What a move there.
What a lunge there from Rydell there on Lucas.
Oxu's doing the exact same thing on Zuckerberg. Was trying to do the exact same thing on Oxu.
Yeah,
further back, I just saw it.
Yeah, both of the Saubers and Alpines, ET8 and of course Evolution battling it out for positions out there. Obviously, Rydell is able to get Rydell holding up position ahead of Lucas as we've got Oxu and Kevin Zumberg battling out for P8 and P9. And look at this, Kevin Zumberg centered down the inside. Brilliant stuff. There's a squeeze on the exit there, and that's going to hang Oxu out to dry right there. And that is now going to be Kevin Zumberg's position. And I think Oxu is going to he's going to come back at him again very soon, I think.
Oh yeah, he will. Yeah, because obviously ETA want to try and get up the field. Obviously Rydell's doing a good job of that. He's up in the 4th now. Next one for him to get is Nick, and then it'll be the SCI drivers. Realistically, Rydell wants to try and get onto the podiums, so then it's less work for Oxu to do. Because I think if we do some quick maths right now, I think
I think it should outscore both of the
yeah, they need to by 10 points. By 10 points. Currently Rydell's getting 12. Oxu gets 7, that's 15. No, sorry, that's 19, what am I about? And then 22, 18, 4. Yeah, no, they would do it. If they finish 1-2. ETA at minimum. Oh, I just saw some carbon fiber flying further back. Who's just lost some front wing?
I believe that is Crowden with an end plate missing on his front right, as Snack is going to have a little look around the outside. You see the front wing damage there in the left hand side of the camera angle. A little bit of contact there between the pair of them, and Snack's going to stick it on the inside.
Space, lad.
Bit of squeezing, a bit of argy-bargy going on right now between Snack and Crowden, and that's just going to allow Thiago just to get in the mixture. But Crowden really sticking Snack.
He really didn't want to give that place to Snack at all.
No, he really didn't. And Snack, obviously, a bit of a snap at the rear there, coming through the triple right-hander, and he's going to have to settle in behind his teammate now. Thiago's the next man up, and of course Crowden elbows out to the absolute fullest. I don't think Snack would have been too impressed with that, but Thiago's going to let his teammate go. Okay, Thiago is saying, go on Snack, go for round 2, have another snack at him. It's been
a mistake, that was Snack. Almost contact there with his teammate. As further back, looks like Justin's getting past a medal. That's improved his position. What's happened to this other... that's what's happened to the other Ferrari. He's got major wing damage again.
So maybe that was the carbon fiber that you saw.
No, I think he had this... No, it was not him. He's miles behind. He's 10 seconds off the back of medal. And I think he's lagging as well, so that's not good for him either. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Not good at all. Snack trying his best to get onto the back of Crowden. Crowden does have more ERS at his disposal than Snack at this moment in time. Thiago sitting pretty on his battery. In behind that, Ostu trying his best to get onto the back of RWB, who is falling behind Kevin Zumberg, who has managed to get the overtake done on the ground effect spec racing driver, and he's trying to get onto the back of IRT Ivan here. Now IRT are doing a very good job. 1 in P3, 1 in P6. A very good performance so far from IRT.
Yeah, definitely. Like, they had a good performance in Silverstone, but unfortunately at Belgium, yeah, that didn't exist that week because I'm pretty sure both drivers DNF'd, so that wasn't good for them. But they are definitely having a better week this week, as it looks like Zumberg is all over the back of Aaron, who's all over the back of his teammate. Because yeah, these guys seem to have been dropped by Rydell. Looks like Ryder's struggling to keep up with the top 3 a little bit. But...
Has also got any wing damage, because he's he's fallen away from RWB, and he's fallen into the clutches of Crowden, who does have wing damage.
He's not got any damage. No damage on that Alpine. I think he just made a small mistake, maybe.
I mean, he's got a full battery, so I mean, maybe he's just content and just like not pushing at the moment. But maybe he's trying to keep his tires in check, which could be a smart thing later on into this race. You never know. So
it could do, yeah.
Oscar could be playing the long game with his tires. But Kevin Zumberg trying to get onto the back of Ivan as Loic into the pit lane. 10-second time penalty, retires
10 seconds,
in the pits.
Yeah, there we go. There's the retirement.
So,
yeah, I kind of saw that coming with Lomax.
Here comes Kevin. Late lunge down the inside. Did not get fully alongside there, but he got halfway down the inside. A little bit of contact there, so still side by side now. Coming through the double right-hander, and it looks like Kevin Zumberg got out the inside for the Gusto win corner, and he's got the position. Can Ivan come back at him? No, he cannot.
Yeah, I was like, you're watching that, and I'm watching this other battle between Crowlin and Snack. Again, Snack decided to try and do the switch back on Crowlin at turn 12, but didn't quite get it, and tried again at turn 15. Again, Crowlin just shutting the door on him. So right now, Snack is really struggling to get past that Ferrari, who's got an end plate missing. But Oxley seems to be really struggling right now. What is going on with him? Has he made another mistake? He's about 2 seconds off the back of RWB now.
Yeah, it's not going good for Oscar at this moment in time. Maybe he is tyre saving, and he's tyre saving quite a bit. Maybe he's doing a bit of fuel saving as well. Not entirely sure, but safety car coming out definitely should have helped with that, in my opinion. Well, right now,
I'm just on board with him, listening to his inputs and stuff. He's just he's not really even pushing a bit at all. He's not even pushing. He's just I think he's just saving his tires, because obviously with the rain.
Here's a switch from Evolution Racing. Here's a switch. Kevin Zumberg released by Lucas to go chasing after Ryderdal.
Yeah, well that was gonna happen. Obviously, Zumberg is on a bit of a roll, on a bit of a charge. This man in quali. His quali pace is not so good, but his race pace is typically quite good, and so he'll try to chase after Ryderdal. But still, Oscar needs to get a wriggle on if he wants to deny SCI the title today.
Yeah,
of
course.
Nothing be official until after Stuart's reports, if there is any.
Yeah, but a potential title decider here right now, and Shizuoka the Igniter is doing absolutely everything they need to. They got the pole position point. Right now, Dirk has the fastest lap point, and it's a 1-2 for Shizu, which is, I mean, they've just been absolutely incredible this season, Shizuoka the Igniters. It's just been absolute domination, not only in console, but also in PC as well.
Yep, I can definitely give you something on that as well, yeah. In PC, they're absolutely dominant as well. To be fair, they're in the same position they're in right now for console on PC. If Shizuoka Igniters outscored the second place team by I think it's about 5 or 6 points though in PC, if they do that, then they take the title there. Because I think it's 42 points is the maximum teams can get from each round. That's being first and second is 40 points, and then 2 extra points for pole and fastest lap.
Yep.
Currently, all 44 of those points are actually going to SCI. So I think Shizu is gonna just dominate. So I think pretty much the last 2 races on console will be for the second place and third place prize money at this point.
Absolutely. Nick, though, trying to get himself onto the back of Rollerkongan if possible. Rollerkongan is driving very well right now. He's not driving as well as his teammate Dirk up ahead, but Rollerkongan is just managing that gap to Nick very well.
Yeah, because I'll say Dirk has dropped his teammate by quite a bit.
Looks like he might have made a mistake there, Dirk, though. As he might have had a snap, and he's lost about half a second to his teammate. So, I mean, the track is still damp, but again, I think there may be some potential overheating going on with these tyres.
Yeah, could be. You never know. Like, I wish on the telemetry, especially for the spectators, that we could use the telemetry and see what the tire situation is like. You should give us a tire graphic for the spectators, but it just does not. And I think that's not fair.
I mean, it's I mean the track is not looking like damp.
No, it's not
looking...
dry up anytime. But the rain's still coming, so I don't think that rain's gonna disappear anytime soon. So, yeah.
Well, of course, DRS is not activated, so it is still intermediate conditions. Kevin Zumberg getting onto the back of Ryderdal. He's got it down to about a second. Ryderdal has not been able to close in on Nick and Volokongan as of yet, but he's thereabouts. He's there to take advantage of any mistakes up ahead.
Yep, he definitely is. All it takes is just one simple mistake from Volokongan and Nick can take massive advantage of it. But as I can see now, everybody pretty much in the top 7, there's pretty much like a full second gap between all of them pretty much. But obviously that's not going to help unless that rain does stop. And it is not anytime soon because it's still bucketing down.
Yeah, we got Ivan, Lucas and RWB in a bit of a freeway battle for P6. Then we got the train from Oscar all the way down to Justin as they all flood through the final corner one by one. Single line formation as everyone's trying to get a little bit of a tow, try to get some dampness on their tyres as well, going a little bit offline.
I think it's more to cool down the tyres of using the wet side of the track, because the racing line will be pretty dry now at this point. Pretty visually runned in a bit.
Absolutely, as Ivan picks up a 3 second. There goes Meta with a 3 second as well. I think that's 6 seconds for Ivan.
Yeah, 6 for Ivan now. So I just had a look earlier. He was on 3 already. Now he's on 6. So that is not going to be helpful for Ivan. That's going to drop him far down. It's going to drop him behind Otsu and probably Crowlin. Speaking of Crowlin, he's right up the rear end of Otsu almost. Crowlin has wing damage, yet look at him. He's all over the back of Otsu. So, oh, hello. What? Why is DRS just been enabled? It's still raining. Huh? Nah, I'm seeing things. No way that just said DRS enabled.
I did not spot DRS getting enabled, but the drivers are into the pit lane now.
The drivers definitely did because they're all in.
And yet, there we go. DRS is enabled as we go on the start finish line.
Yeah,
dry tyres are on. Dirk is on the hard compound tyres, and we should be seeing hards coming from everyone now.
Why? I'm sorry, it's still raining. Why is DRS just been enabled? I don't understand. It is still raining.
The rain is only marginal now, as the track appears to be dry enough for the dry compound tyres. I see how Dirk is going to manage on those hard compound tyres. Are they going to be better than the intermediates? And look at this through the S's. He's just closing up, but he's just understeering a little bit through the S's. But it's definitely looking like the dry tyres are the dry tyres to be on right now.
Yeah, but this is all I should trust as well. Both EBR drivers stayed out. Neither of them pitted. One of them should have. And also, same with the Legacy Racing driver. He should definitely have pitted because he's the only one left. Obviously, the other TF10 couldn't because his teammate is in. They're too close together. Obviously, same with Volokongan. He was just way too close.
I tell you what, Volokongan, this is going to be close for Volokongan and Ryder. I think Ryderdal and Nick will get ahead of Volokongan here as Dirk goes completely deep through turn 12. Not ideal for him.
A couple of them are.
Yeah, it's a little bit sketchy out there on the dry tyres. The dry tyres are quicker.
Inside at turn 15 for Dirk. still there. They're making contact with each other. Obviously, this is the
Oh,
position.
contact!
Oh, contact, and Dirk's semi-spun. Man is just trying to get through. Oh, now the kicks are double stacking.
Yeah,
Is there a big enough gap between the kicks for them to double stack?
I'm not sure, but Volokongan should probably be coming out behind the likes of the top three now. But let's see, Volokongan coming out, and he's actually just come out just ahead of Nick and Ryderdal, so it was very close in the end. But Nick is still behind Volokongan. I thought for sure the Hards would be just quick enough that they could come out ahead of Volokongan, but no, Volokongan still ahead of Nick and Ryderdal.
Yep, definitely, and so that tells you something then. Maybe it's a little too. Maybe it's a little
big snap
too
from
early.
Nick. Big snap from
Nick.
Nick.
The rain has now stopped completely.
Rain stopped completely, but here goes Ryderdal on the inside of Nick.
Ryderdal up the inside of the third. This is big if you can get it.
And he's got it done.
And there we go. And he's got it done. Ryderdal up into what is P3. If you can get past Volokongan, it will lessen the blow. But I still think CSI would take the title. But unless Ryderdal can somehow get more points. Like Oxu needs to get a wriggle on now. Oxu needs to get a wriggle on. He needs to get up the board.
Yeah, Ryderdal's doing everything that he can, but you can see Dirk is backing off to give his teammate DRS. The gap is coming down massively.
That is wise. That is wise from the CSI driver. SCI drivers. That is wise. Dirk doing that is probably the best thing he could do, because Volokongan would be under so much pressure. Like that's big. Nick getting free.
Nick with a 3 second. Unfortunate for him, he's having a great race so far though, and he's still on for P4. 88 Ryderdal does take the fastest lap of the race at the moment as he's closing in on Volokongan. Sends it on the inside. Very close between the pair, rather than this wheel to wheel on the exit. Side by side, here we go. 88, Shazusi the Igniters, and Volokongan holds on to P2 ahead of Ryderdal.
Oh, it was a nice effort there from Ryderdal to try and get that move done. Unsuccessful, but obviously respect to both drivers. They both left enough space there. But that's a good effort, but I don't think Ryderdal's finished.
Ryderdal to the inside. Sorry, Ryderdal to the inside. Sends it on the inside of Volokongan. Squeezing Volokongan out, and here comes Nick. Nick is side by side with the rear wing and the rear tyre of Volokongan, but he hasn't got the run that he needs to get the move done. But here comes Volokongan on the back of Ryderdal. Is he going to have a look down the inside? Under braking? No, he's going to sit in behind the ETA driver for the time being.
This is pretty huge for Ryderdal, getting past both Nick and Volokongan. Next, I wonder if he's just going to sit behind Dirk for a while. He's taking the title line here on 15. Ooh, he had a look.
He had a peek, didn't he? Yeah, Ryderdal did have a little peek. Obviously, Dirk with a superior ERS advantage over the guys in behind him. Obviously, he did back off to give his teammate DRS, so you would expect the ERS advantage to be there with Dirk. We got a battle going on for P6 on track with RWB trying to get onto the back of Ivan. Ryderdal, a new fastest lap coming in from him as he tries to make sure that he doesn't lose as many points as possible. Snack is closing in on Lucas, and he's bringing Ostu and Tiago along for the ride. And there's Snack with the fastest lap.
Yeah, so TF10 helping out Shazoo again. But I was like, Oxu's done in 10th, which ain't good. Because that's 6th. With Ryderdal in 2nd, that's 18.
Well,
so that's what, 20.
Here's what you gotta think though. Snack has the pace of closing on Lucas.
Yeah.
Lucas is within that 6 second of Ivan. So really it's a net P9 if he can stay on the back of Snack. If Snack has the pace to close up to the legs of Kevin Zumberg, then also all he's got to do is just stick on the back of the TF10 driver, and maybe he can pick up a couple of positions with the time penalties at the end of this race.
Yeah, definitely. But obviously as well, with the time penalties, there is always an off chance that those time penalties can be removed.
Right, Adele, add
if they were
another
given
little,
unfairly.
add another little peek down the inside into turn 15, but does not commit to it. He's just taking that tight line. Make sure he's covering the inside away from Volokongan. So Volokongan can't try anything. But lap 15, about to begin lap 16 of 28. Dirk leads away for Shazoo Cedar Igniters ahead of ET8's Ryderdal in second place. Then of course Volokongan with the fastest lap of the race in P3. A double Shazoo podium. Kevin Zumberg with the fastest lap of the race now. He's currently in P5 trying to chase down Nick, who is on the back of the top three. He does have a penalty to his name, does Nick, so he's not really in this fight unless someone else picks up a time penalty or he can get one of his warnings removed. You never know. RWB on the back of Ivan for P6 in this race. Lucas 1.7 off the back of RWB. Snack closing in on Lucas, bringing Thiago and Ostu along for the ride as they pull further away from Justin, Crowden, Medal, and of course Jules down there towards the back and Crowden. Another 3 seconds for him, but back up towards the front. Volokongan and Ryderdal and Dirk all getting very close with each other as Ryderdal tries his best to hold on to P2, but here comes Volokongan with DRS. He's going to get boxed in. It's Ryderdal, but he splits between the pair of them, parting the Red Sea. Ryderdal is going to send it around the outside of Volokongan. Is he going to be able to hold this off? As Ryderdal, Volokongan side by side, ET8 Shazoo doing battle on track, and it looks like it's going to be Ryderdal who will take the lead, but here comes Volokongan back on the inside in towards turn 15, but he's unable to do it. Volokongan, he's in P2 behind Ryderdal. What a brilliant little sequence of battling right there. Ryderdal, he almost got boxed in by the Shazoo drivers, but he managed to find a bit of a gap in between the pair of them and he parted the Red Sea.
Yep, and with all that fighting these four had, guess who's on the back of their tails now?
Yep, Kevin Zumberg.
His commando. Caroline, stop getting 3 seconds, bro. Hey, did you really fix that from wing damage, Caroline? If you didn't, I'm going to be annoyed. I'm going to be slightly annoyed. Oh no, he did fix the damage, so he's getting those warnings with no damage. Huh. Interesting.
Ryderdal got the gap up to 7/10 of a second. Snack with a 3 second right there. That is big for Osku, as Osku is still going to be sticking onto the back of him, but looks like Volokongan dumping the battery, got the ERS, closing in on Ryderdal. Is he going to be close enough to go for the move? He potentially could, but he's not this time around. He's got to stick in behind the ETA driver for the time being, and I think right now this order for Shazoo is not the order they need. I think they need Dirk ahead of Volokongan here.
Probably, but obviously as it stands right now, what 22.
Oh, Dirk, 3 second time penalty.
Oh, that's
now,
big.
This right now is brilliant if you are Nick and Kevin Zumberg, because now there's a chance of a podium. Yep, Ryderdal fastest lap of the race, but now this is good for Nick and Kevin Zumberg. Now they can see a podium possibility begin to open its doors as the third, fourth, and fifth, all with 3 seconds. It is all to play for now for that final podium spot, and now I think I think now is the right decision to have Volokongan ahead of Dirk, but it's going to be interesting as Crowden into the pits retires from the race. It's not been a good day for Crowden at all. RWB 4.5 seconds off the back of the top 5, but if they battle absolute tooth and nail, then we could be seeing that gap close down. But Ryderdal, 8.5 tenths, the gap between him and Volokongan. It looks like Ryderdal does have the pace on the Shazoo Cedar Igniters driver, and he definitely has enough pace to hold Volokongan at bay.
So I've done some quick maths to you, Michael. If it was to finish how they are right now,
yes,
So Oxu would actually jump ahead of Lucas and Ivan. So he would finish, what, P7th? If Rydell wins, it would go to the next race.
I mean, right now, I think Oxcu is outside of the 3 second for Lucas. Because the gap between the gap.
He'll jump up to 8th then, because he'll get Ivan and Snack.
Yeah.
As Dirk is replaying fastest lap of the race. That Volkongen 8 gets 18, Dirk gets 15, that's 33, plus the other 2 points. I said, anyway, and not one. That's 34 points. Rydell currently first. Oxu would go up to 8th, which would give him 8 points. So it gives ET8 30, so yeah, not enough. So as it stands, not enough points.
So right now, what we're hearing is that the championship is hanging in the balance right now.
Yes.
ET8 are doing just enough to keep it alive.
Even if Rydell slips down to second, he is still doing enough.
Volkongen down the inside. Job done for Volkongen.
Yep. Especially as well with the LR, with the Legacy Racing driver also taking fastest lap away. That puts the 34 again down to 33, but since now Volkongen have Rydell swap positions, it means that he can have 4 points, that puts him to 37.
And Oxcu has got ahead of Snack. Oxcu is ahead of Snack on track, and Snack sent one down the inside. This is not what Oxcu needs. He does not need to be battling with the TF10 driver here, because he's just going to hemorrhage time to Lucas and Ivan up ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, Oxcu needs to get in the 3 seconds of Lucas. So fighting with Snack is not going to help him at all. But even still, it's into 8th. Which should be... Yeah, no, even if it finishes where it is right now, Shizushi Dikanaya still don't win the title.
Okay.
Really, if Shizushi Dikanaya want the title, they have to have 1 and 2. They have to.
So they need to force Rydell into a mistake, and that way he picks up a 3 second time penalty and Dirk finishes ahead of him.
That's what I think, yes. But like, if it doesn't, we'll see you all. Next week to see what happens. As Rydell's gonna. Nope, I thought he was gonna have a look. But Nick is around your side behind him. Well, he tried it. The question is, when is Zumberg gonna get involved?
I think Zumberg is happy to save his battery, but he had a little look down the inside there. Nick took a very wide line on entry, and Kevin Zumberg had a little peek. Oxcu is not closing in on Lucas. Now that is not good for Oxcu, because he needs to close in on Lucas if he wants to get that P7 by the end of this race.
Yeah, he's also barely inside Ivan's 6. So, Oxcu, even if he keeps just 9th, that's still 7 points. 25 to what is 38? Oh. Looks like Oxcu has dropped even further.
Kevin. Kevin with another 3 second time penalty. That's going to promote RWB up to P5. And let's not rule RWB out by here, because if these guys battle, they get their elbows out. All they have to do is slow down this train by 1.5 seconds. And RWB is, well, maybe around about 2 seconds. And RWB could be looking at a potential podium with the penalties.
Oh, Zumberg. Oh, contact there with Nick. Oh, Zumberg.
I just jumped on and got the ghost in then on the end of that.
Well, IRT is definitely going to be making a report after for that. I already see it coming. Because that's a bit of an ambitious push to pass move there by Kevin. So I'll have to see what else that does. But yeah, I just noticed that Oscar is 4 seconds off the back of Lucas, and Lucas is not under 2 seconds off of Ivan. So actually, Oscar might just stay 9th.
Yeah, right now I think
that's bad.
Yeah, I think like between Osu, Snack, and Tiago, I think Snack needs to be the one leading, and he almost was again as he goes up to Osu. But Osu needs Snack to pull him along here. Osu being the lead car, he's not closing in on the cars in front that he needs to get a better result out of this. In fact, he's just losing time. Oh, that will help him though.
Never mind.
Ivan, 3 second time penalty. 9 seconds.
Never mind. Oscar can relax a little bit, but realistically, if Oscar really needs to try and catch up to Lucas, really, he needs to be. I think if he can get within 3 seconds of Lucas, I think he should be even more okay.
Nick, ever since that incident with Kevin, he's falling away by here. He's running very low on his ERS battery as well. He's trying his best to stick with these guys, but I think that instant has just knocked the confidence out of him. Snack getting back through on Ostu, down the inside in towards turn 12. Job done for the TF10 man. And this is what Ostu needs now. He needs to just... Snack is the quicker driver, so just let Snack pull him along, because obviously Snack is trying to do his best for Tiago as well, because Tiago also no penalties to his name.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to do some quick maths. So obviously Oscar will get 2 places, so he gets 8, so it's 8 points. Ryder gets 18, that's 26. As we've got a spinner, medals, spun it.
I was about to say, if a safety car came out then...
If we got it, oh my god, if we got a safety car, then yes, it would be like, oh, we're definitely going to the next race. But I think right now, so 22 and 15, 27.
If a safety car...
It's close. It is definitely gonna be close. Realistically, Ryder Down needs to get ahead of Volokonga to make sure it goes to the next race. Because with me doing some quick maths, with how it stands right now, Shizushi Ignite will outscore ETA by 11 points, which is what they need.
So there we go. It is crucial that Ryderdal can get himself ahead of Volokonga, and it is crucial that Ostu gets himself ahead of a couple of people on these penalties. As I was going to say, a safety car would really turn this up on its head, because yes, it would 100%.
Right now,
it would take it to the next round, but also you got to remember as well, this late into the race, if everyone is bunched up, people are going to be a lot more risky with their overtakes, and then it could cause carnage. So
it definitely can. But obviously as well, if I was Ryder Down, I would wait until like the very last opportunity you have to overtake Volokonga for the race win. But obviously you gotta try and do it cleanly so you don't get penalised by the stewards after the race, which is one of the things you gotta be wary of.
And looks like this is working. Having Snark lead is working, because Ostu is getting towed along by Snark.
Barely hanging on.
Yeah, he's barely hanging on. Snark is closing in on Lucas, though.
Yeah, it definitely is. Because Snack is clearly the faster driver. Ostu really needs to try and keep within touch of that TF10 to try and claw some more points.
I think we know what the TF10's plans are. Obviously, they know Ostu is going to jump Snack with that time penalty. I think what Snack is trying to do is break DRS to Ostu. Tiago gets the move done on the ET8 man, and then Snack gives the DRS to Tiago. I think that is the TF10 strategy right now. Ostu though, all he's got to do is just make sure he sticks with Snack, because Snack is pushing, and he's only 6 times, well, nearly 5 times off the back of Lucas's 3 second, and if he gains another second towards the end of the race, then we could be seeing Ostu jump up into P8. Maybe P7.
I say Oscar needs to try and keep up with Snack, and Snack needs to try and catch up to Lucas. But obviously we've got 4 laps to go as we just started lap 25, so still all to play for. Volocon can comfortably just stay ahead of Ryderdal, and as I think Ryderdal's just biding his time, wait until like last possible minute to get past Volokongan.
Yep, he's biding his time. The one thing I'm going to say though is just to keep an eye on is obviously Nick now. He's outside that 1 second. He might still have DRS by here, but he's outside the second. And yes, he does not have DRS. So Nick is now going to fall out of this train and fall into the clutches of RWB.
Yeah, but these guys are all just chilling out now. They're taking their time. No fighting between them all.
I mean, Kevin Zumberg might fancy his chances on Dirk here soon.
I'll say this is where I'm like, go on Zumberg, have a go at Dirk so Nick can catch back up and you can have a go at him. Yeah, if I was Ryderdal right now, I'd save all your battery so you've got so much to use on the last lap.
Yeah, I think obviously Dirk right now, his main goal is to stay ahead of Kevin Zumberg and Nick, but also to maybe be close enough to Ryderdal that he can put him under enough pressure that he can't get the move done on Volokongan. But Ryderdal just needs to make sure he stays far enough ahead of Dirk and close enough to Volokongan to take advantage at the end of this race. Kevin Zumberg, if he wants a podium, he's got to put Dirk under pressure right now, which of course, if that does happen, then we could be seeing the split happen between Ryderdal and Dirk, and then we got a three-way battle for the final spot on the podium between Nick, Kevin Zumberg and Dirk, but with the threat of RWB with no penalties being in the mix to jump someone on penalties. That's going to be... It's an interesting end to the race.
Yeah, well, he's definitely going to jump Zumberg, because like, he's within 6 seconds of him. So he's RWB is definitely going to jump to 5th.
Oh, here goes Ryderdal. Not going to go for the move yet, though.
Bit of an argy-bargy there between the pair, but stays ahead.
Troye in the chat has asked, is this enough for Shizusi to ignite us to win the championship? I believe we did the math just a moment ago, and you did say it was.
As it stands right now, Shizusi the Igniters are going to outscore ET by about 11 points, if my math is not wrong, which would be enough. But if Ryderdal gets ahead of Volokongan and wins this race, then it goes to next week instead. So realistically, it's all on Ryderdal. It's all on Ryderdal now to see what he can do on these last couple of laps.
Yeah, there's two.
Oxu is screwed.
There's a few potentials right here, okay, Troy? Obviously, you got Dirk and Kevin Zumberg with 3 second time penalties. If Kevin Zumberg gets ahead of Dirk, he'll go on to next week. Obviously, you got Snack, who is towing Oxu along by here, and Snack is closing in on Lucas, but is he closing in quick enough? I don't know. But if Oxu can get himself within 3 seconds of Lucas, he'll jump Lucas. If Kevin Zumberg can get himself ahead of Dirk, then the possibilities there that he goes on to next week. Same with Ryderdal and Volokongan. There's so many different aspects to this that is still yet to be unwritten. And we are on the penultimate lap of the race, and here comes Ryderdal.
No, not now. Wait until next lap, you muppet.
I mean, Ryderdal is...
Too early to make it. Too early.
Oh, here comes the backup game. Here comes the backup game. And Dirk sends it on the inside. And that is very, very late. But contact there between them. And that is right there. Oh, contact between more contact.
Oh, Dirk. Oh.
That's a bit too much for me. That was a bit too much for me right there. But Dirk is ahead of Ryderdal, and now Ryderdal, I think ET8 will be absolutely seething with that one. And Kevin Zumberg is just sitting in behind thinking, okay, Okay, say less. As it goes right down back down the inside.
Back down the inside of turn 1. Oh,
Contact.
Yeah, Dirk did not quite leave enough space there. So ETA could argue there that they were cut off, and oh dear, bigger things. Ryder Dahl and Dirk are actually out of DRS on Volkongen, which is I think what Shizusi the Knights wanted.
Yeah.
And in other news, Snack is in 3 seconds of Lucas.
Yeah,
so
but Oxu is not.
This lap Oxu needs to get past Snack. He needs to get closer to Snack before the DRS zone and gets past Snack. And then Oxu will get a few more places.
Volkongen backed off enough
gonna...
that Dirk gets DRS here so he can defend from Ryder Dahl. And that, I think, is going to be that. Medal takes the fastest lap of the race. Obviously coming in, putting on a set of the soft compound tyres. I don't see anything changing right now in the top 3 unless Ryder Dahl has a look now in towards turn 15. And yes, he does.
Takes the title line.
Takes the title
line. Dirk gave him the space, but the wheel banging out on the exit. So yeah, this is unfortunate. Obviously, you'll have to wait for Stewart reports to come through. But as it stands right now, provisionally, yeah.
I mean, Volkongen takes the race win ahead of Ryder Dahl, who will be joined on the podium by Dirk as well. So it's a double Shazoo podium. RWB gets himself up into P4 in the end. So he jumps Kevin and Nick on penalties. Nick in P5 with Kevin in P6. What happened to Kevin at the end? He picked up 6 seconds, didn't he?
Yeah,
Lucas,
6 seconds, yeah.
Lucas instead of Oxtu, 6 tenths. He just wasn't close enough. And he only just got ahead of Ivan in P9, Thiago P10, Snack 11th, Justin to cross the line in 12th. Medal will come through in 13th, and of course we got Jules coming through in 14th. The fastest lap of the race is going the way of
Medal,
unless anyone else can stop that. I don't think Jules has enough in him to get that away from Medal, but I think that is gonna be that. Obviously, the championship provisionally is going the way of Shazoo Cedar Igniters, but I think there'll definitely be a report in from ET8 for the penultimate lap with some of Dirk and Ryder Dahl.
Yeah, that it was a little bit questionable about what Dirk did, but given the certain circumstances, he needed to make the move happen so he can try and think. But obviously, you got to wait for Stuart's reports. There could be other things as well. Obviously, you got to bear in mind as well. You got Zumberg as well that could possibly get a penalty as well, and a couple of others between them and Oxu. So you never know. You'll have to wait for the Stuart's reports to come out. But obviously, as Michael says right now, provisionally Shazoo are on the top of gonna take it. What I say? That's unofficially.
Well,
hopefully should be able to get those Stuart's reports out earlier than normal. Hopefully.
Okay, so we'll run you through the order one more time. It is Volkongen with the race win. Ryder Dahl in second place with Dirk completing the podium. RWB in P4 with Nick in P5. Kevin Zumberg in 6th with Lucas in 7th. Ostu in 8th. Ivan in 9th. Thiago rounding out the top 10. Outside the top 10, we got Snack. Justin. Medal with the fastest lap in 13th. For Jules, the last of the finishers, in 14th place. Our 2 non-finishers were, of course, Crowden and Loic. Unfortunately for the pair of them, unable to see the checker flag. But as it currently stands, Shazoo Cedar Igniters, CTC console champions. And ladies and gentlemen, there you see the remainder of the calendar. Obviously, next week we head south across the border into Mexico for the Mexican Grand Prix for round number 11. And of course, we will end the season on the 22nd in Brazil. And I'm not going to lie, 2 very, very different tracks to end for the final 2 rounds. Obviously, Mexico, a lot of straight line straights, and then of course that very technical middle sector. With Brazil, it is you just it's all about the rhythm at Brazil. That's why I think with especially in that middle sector, Brazil, you have to keep the rhythm and you have to just be absolutely on it. Very easy to pick up time penalties at both circuits, and a red race at either can be very hectic.
Definitely can. Well, I have to wait and see.
Yep, and a quick reminder of what the championship was coming into tonight. Of course, Shazoo did lead by 74 points. They needed a gap of 85 points to take the championship. And of course, with an 8th place and a 2nd place for ET8, and of course a 1st and a 3rd, plus the pole position point for Shazoo here tonight. Provisionally, it would be Shazoo picking up 38 points, and then of course ET8 picking up 26. So
No, it's 37. They take Shazoo. 37.
no, they got a pole
compared
position
to
point.
ET8's for what?
They got a pole position point. It's 22 for the race win, 15 for 3rd, and the pole position point.
Oh yeah, but they need to. I already calculated that they were, with they needed to outscore them by 11 points, which they did.
Yeah.
Even
I was doing like the whole total and everything. So like the total Shazoo gained from tonight was 38 points, and the total that ETA gained from tonight was 26. So it was a 12-point swing for Shazoo in the end. But obviously, stewards could change everything. So provisionally, right now, it is going the way of Shazoo Cedar Igniters. But will it remain that way? Only one way to find out, guys. And that's, of course, by tuning into next week, where, of course, we'll be here again for the Mexico Grand Prix. But until then, guys, I have been Michael Edwards. He has been Piney Penguin. And we'll catch you next time for the Mexican Grand Prix around number 11. Until then, guys, it is good night for me.